Thank you very much, Caleb. Thank you, David. Pleasure to be speaking with both of you today. Now, Caleb, how long was your journey for Forelock? Because you had a lot of job titles on this one.
Well, yeah, probably in some ways, since I was 14 years old and people started calling me Superman relentlessly.
Sure.
But really working on it full time the past 4.5 years, approaching 5 years from writing it, developing it, um, starting the production company with my wife,
Yes.
pre-production, casting, shooting, editing, taking a break to have a kid, coming back, editing more, premiering it in Austin, and then sitting here with you.
Years. David, great to see you in a scummy role. I love you in scummy roles, to put it
Thanks.
nicely. Where does Randy come from?
Oh wow. I mean it was so well written really. And I a lot of times actors get credit for the writing, for the role itself. I didn't have to bring much to it. I knew my job was to elevate it. But I don't know. I think I have a little. I'm a prankster in real life, right? I won't shut up. I'm hyperbolic, and I'm hyperverbal and all those things. And I don't often get to use any of that. And Randy was an opportunity to just sort of use what was there, or what I mute most of the time. I try not to put my foot in my mouth as often as I used to. But Randy seems to have a knack for doing that. And yeah, he's a little bit of like a Rumpelstiltskin, he's an angry little curmudgeony little prankster. And I kind of love that about him.
Sure.
You know,
But
yeah.
but before I throw it back to Caleb with a forelock question, I heard I think a podcast you did years ago with Jake Fogelnest. You talked about a neighbor of yours who watched Law and Order at a way too loud volume, and the prank related to that. Is there a whole life and career of things like that when you talk about pranks?
Oh, wow. God, I don't remember that, but there was a neighbor who tried to kill me with a voodoo curse, an old Haitian lady, because I was watching TV too loud. But regardless, and that wasn't a prank. That was real, and I had to threaten her, and she was 80. I still threatened her, but no, I don't know. I grew up like listening to the Jerky Boys and pranking
Of
doing a
course.
lot of phone pranks. My grandmother was like a devilish prankster. She was mess with anybody in the most harsh way. I just like putting people in awkward positions and watching them squirm. It's sociopathic, which is what Randy is. I don't do it as much anymore, but it used to be what I did all the time.
Caleb, to confirm, David was a pleasure to work with as part of Forelock.
He was, but he was an absolute pleasure. And the most fun I had during this very stressful process was just being able to act with him because when that camera started rolling, it was just pure play. That being said, he is hyperbolic. And so many times he would walk away and say, that was the greatest take I could possibly give. And I might be the greatest actor ever. And other times he would say, I'm so sorry, I'm terrible at this. I'm going to retire immediately. So
Wow.
he would keep you on your toes in that way. Luckily,
Yeah,
I think
between.
he leans more towards greatest actor ever than the alternative.
I'll second that one. And the follow up to that, Caleb, is the film is a very unique look at Los Angeles. It's not a just an I love LA kind of film like a lot of films are. But clearly you stuck through it. You finished a very complex film like this. What is it that keeps you going in the acting world, seeing what the lows can be?
Yeah, it is. It is a very, hopefully, a different look at Los Angeles than we typically get. It doesn't just give in to this feeling of glitz and glamour that's so often portrayed. I know there's a series that's coming out around the time we're filming this called I Love LA, which hopefully it's good. It looks interesting. Forlock is very much more like I resent LA. I hate LA. It tries to show a view of what it is kind of like on the street level with public disorder and the way things have gotten. That being said, I do love the city. I hope the best for it. I'm someone who I can't help myself. Creativity is like a compulsion. So even at the lowest of the lows, I'm, still writing the next script. If someone wants me to act in something, that's great. I've done a lot of less than that than David has, although people still want me to show up on TV here and there.
Mhm.
And it's a compulsion, really. That's what I think creativity is.
David, I forever think of you as a New Yorker, and of course, now that the Springsteen movie, we're now thinking of you as a New Jersey person. But do you
Hmm.
go between New York and California these days?
I actually live in New Jersey. But yeah, I'll go anywhere to work. Happy to go anywhere. I lived in LA for 15 years. I don't know anyone, either whether they're born and raised in LA or they're a transplant, that doesn't have some sort of love-hate relationship with LA. And it's not the city, it's not the dynamics of the city so much, it's not the traffic it's more, the nature of what goes on, which is a highly competitive creative industry. And it's an industry is of all those words, industry is, what
Mhm.
you're reminded of, that this is a hardcore business, big business. And it can be soul crushing, but it was always on me. No one was going to help me with feeling rejected and the lows, that was on me, which is the hard part. I tell people all the time, being an actor is easy. Being a professional actor is really working on getting work.
Mhm.
Working. That's what I do most of the time, and that's the really difficult part. Because it's very paranoia inducing. Especially when you're your own product. It's funny to some extent. Randy is an actor, and maybe he was, but he's an actor. He's long lost whatever genuine quality he had. I mean, he's all one big lie and one big scheme. And so, there is a high that comes from performing and getting over on people that I can relate to. Um, but yeah, the low that accompanies that is pretty low, and I think Randy is doing everything he can to try to avoid feeling those feelings. But yeah.
Got it. So, Caleb, this being years in the making and working with Lindsay, of course, as producer on this, are we allowed to know what's next? Or is, Forlock the swan song for you as a director? And I hope the answer is no.
That would be quite something if it was. But you know what? You never know. And if I'm trying to learn one thing, it's not to make assumptions, to keep expectations elastic. Luckily, the response we've been getting so far is extremely encouraging. So, like I said, I'm always writing. It's a compulsion, coming up with ideas, listening to conversations on the streets, translating that into some kind of a story, putting together a mosaic, whether people want me to or not. So yeah, I am working on something, an original screenplay, because that's where my heart is. Original stories, things that hopefully it's a story that only I would tell, right? And that's what I appreciate in other filmmakers, when someone comes up with something that would only come out of their imagination and their mind. So yeah, I'm happy to be promoting Forlock, and also with an eye towards the next one.
And David, the last word, are we allowed to know what's next from you, or do we just have to follow you on socials?
No, I mean, I know you're allowed to know. I did an episode of the show The Rookie that will be on in February. That's fun. I'm in the next installment of the sort of DC universe movie. I'm in Supergirl. I play Supergirl's dad.
Hmm.
The resemblance is uncanny, and I say that with all seriousness. And then I'm hoping a horror film I made called Alter comes out this year. We made it a while ago. A24 movie, great movie. And then yeah, probably toward the end of the year, a movie called Mr. Irrelevant, a true story about a New York Giants football player in 1982 that
Wow.
died of cancer, sort of at a very early age. And so one of those football cancer movies we all love. And yeah, that'll be fun. And that's it. That's then I'll never work again.
Hey, I look forward to both of your future projects. Thank you for your time. Congrats on Forlock. And David, Adam Bush says hi.
Oh, say hi back. Thanks.
Paltrow